Today we are talking about how to get your house ready to sell, so stick around. My name is Heidi Knowlton. I'm a local real estate expert here in the Salt Lake Valley. I love all things real estate and I love to educate people. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell so that you are notified every week when I put out a new video. Stay tuned to the very end to hear the best tip of them all. So today we're talking about getting your house ready to sell. So a very common question that I get from people that are thinking about selling their home is, how do I get my house ready to sell? What do I need to do to make it look the best, to get on the market, and to get a buyer really quickly? And for top dollar, of course. So when you're thinking about selling your home, the first thing you want to think about, which you've probably already done, is where are you going to move to? And what's your timing? What's your budget for the next home? So getting your goals really ironed out and writing it all down and taking a look at it and having your plan for your next home is step number one. Once you've decided on that, you need to talk to a local real estate agent and get them involved in the process. They're going to give you a lot of tips. They're going to tell you some things you probably didn't think about, and they're going to get you up on the right foot to get your home sold fast and for top dollar. So next, when it comes to actually getting your house ready, I start on the outside. Your curb appeal is so important. When you put your home up on the market, on the MLS, the first thing that they see is the outside of your home. So curb appeal is really important. It's also what buyers see when they drive by, when people are just randomly driving through neighborhoods. It's what your neighbor sees. Your outside is what people judge your home on first typically. So you want to make sure the outside looks perfect. So if you're in the spring or summertime, make sure you have some pretty color outside. You have your lawn well groomed. The grass has been cut recently. It's not, overgrown and getting tall. You've got all the weeds pulled. Even like the sidewalks, make sure the sidewalk looks nice. Make sure you don't have, chalk from kids outside on the sidewalk or on your driveway or on your entry. Just make sure everything looks really nice, really clean. Have a nice mat at the front of your door. Have a nice wreath hanging on your front door. Anything that's to make your home look more welcoming from the outside is really important. So I always say, let's start from the outside and then work our way on the inside. Okay, so let's talk about the inside of the home. This is where most of the work is going to take place. So you need to declutter. You need to get everything out of your house. You don't want your home to look overcrowded with stuff that you own. Really, your home should look like it was staged. Even though you're living in it, it makes it a little bit hard, I understand, but pack up all your stuff that you're not using, get it in boxes, put it in a storage unit. You can put it in your garage if you need to, but I would kind of leave that as a second option. If you can, get it in a storage unit or maybe at a relative's house, a friend's house, or their garage, someplace to store it all while you're trying to get your house ready and get your house shown to people. You want to make sure that you don't have all the clutter. Another reason it's really good to get your house decluttered is because you're going to have to keep it clean for showings, right? So you want to have to keep putting away your clutter every time a buyer wants to come look at your house. So if you just get it out of the house to begin with, it's less you have to deal with every time you have a buyer that wants to come through and take a look at your house. Same goes with like personal belongings, personal photos. Try and get those out of the home. If you have expensive jewelry or expensive stuff in your home, make sure you hide that or put it in a safe, but get it tucked away so that no one can see it when they come through your home. I have heard of awful stories where people have had stuff stolen out of their homes during a showing. So make sure you get all of your expensive stuff out of the house. Once you have your house all decluttered and it's nice and clean and your stuff is out as much as you possibly can, at least, make sure you get a house cleaner. The house cleaner is going to do some deep cleaning. Get all your blinds clean, windowsills clean. It's just going to feel much fresher once you had a house cleaner come through and do a really good deep thorough cleaning of your house. You also want to do a smell check. Make sure that your house smells fresh. Make sure it smells clean. A lot of people like to do diffusing oils or air fresheners. I would say don't do that. I think it's best to just have a nice clean smell or no smell at all versus different fragrances, because not everybody likes the same fragrance that you have. And if you have a buyer that comes through that maybe they don't like the smell of lavender or they don't like the smell of vanilla, that's going to turn that buyer off. So I would recommend staying away from any air fresheners or diffusing any oils. Just try and have a nice clean scent in your home. So once you have your house clean, all your belongings are put away, you have a nice fresh smell in your house. Next is professional photography. Please never skip this step. This is so important. This is what the buyer sees first when they're looking at your listing online. And it is so important that you have a professional photographer. If your realtor is telling you it's not needed, please insist on professional photography anyways. I'm telling you, this makes such a huge difference. The photographers know the right angles, they know the correct lighting, they know how to edit your photos so that you put your best foot forward. And it's so important that you get professional photography done. So never ever skip this step. If your home does need some updating, we can touch on that also. I wouldn't go spend a ton of money to try and renovate your house, like if your kitchen's outdated or bathrooms are outdated. Depending on your market, you're usually going to get what you put into it. So if you put in $10,000, you're probably going to get $10,000 out of it. There are certain markets like in Orange County, California, and other places where it definitely pays off to do renovations, but typically in Utah, the Salt Lake Valley, typically get out what you put in. So unless you really want to do renovations, I would say you can probably skip the renovations. I would recommend painting for sure. If you have any bright colors, any blues, greens, blacks, anything like that, if it's not neutral gray or neutral white, then I would paint it to be a better color that's going to appeal to more buyers. Another inexpensive change that you can make to your house is lighting. Make sure that your lighting, for one, is really well. The well-lit areas, a well-lit house is really appealing to a buyer. But also like light fixtures, ceiling fans, chandeliers, those are pretty inexpensive to update and really make a big difference in a house. Also go through your home and check for just general maintenance items. Do you have maybe a loose toilet, or do you have some caulking missing in the tub? Or do you have a broken blind in one of your window coverings? Just go through your home, fix anything like that, because as soon as a buyer sees like, oh, there's a broken window shade, they're gonna say, let's take off $1,000 because I need to fix that. So buyers will start knocking down the price as they see repairs, even if they're small repairs that are inexpensive. To a buyer, it's still a repair, and they're gonna wanna knock some money off the purchase price or do some negotiating maybe later on in the transaction after you've already had your offer accepted to try and knock off some price and get a credit at closing. So beware of that. Make sure you get all the little things taken care of. One thing that does come up on almost every home inspection is caulking around windows. Caulk around all your windows so that doesn't come up on your home inspection report. So here's the best and final tip. It comes down to pricing. When you're getting ready to sell your house, you have to price it right. This is so important. I can't even emphasize it enough. If you overprice your house is more likely to sit there and take longer to sell. If you price your house just right, or even if you just price it just a little bit under the market, you're gonna have a lot more attention on your house and a lot more buyers coming to see your house. I have used this strategy myself where I price the home just a little bit under the market. And of course you get multiple offers. This was before the crazy seller's market that we're in right now. Pricing your house below the market definitely helps you. It has the opposite effect. So you think that if you price your house low, you're gonna get a low offer. Well, no, actually when you price it low and a little bit under the market, then you end up having more buyers that wanna see your house, and ultimately you get more offers on your house. If you enjoy getting real estate tips like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Comment below if there's a tip that you really love that really made a difference when you tried to sell your home. Or if you're trying to get your home sold or thinking about it, what area are you in? What market are you in? I'd love to hear from where you're from. I'll see you on the next video.